For too long, criminals have been getting away with it.
He's off and he's running down the alleyway.
But now the police and the public are fighting back. With an array of high-tech crime-fighting tools, the odds are tilting in our favour.
Technology is advancing at such a pace, it's going to change the way law enforcement in the 21st century is carried out.
As we track criminals on the streets and in the air.
This is going to be a game changer, and we are going to get more, better, faster results.
Capture crimes as they happen.
The ability to pinpoint wanted persons with speed and accuracy would be a huge resource for law enforcement.
And identify offenders faster than ever.
There are many, many crimes that can be virtually eliminated using technology.
Making our communities safe again, thanks to a Frontline Fightback. Today, the electronic tags leading a crackdown on alcohol-fueled violence.
It's almost like the angel in your ear, don't have a drink, don't have a drink.
The hidden network of privately owned cameras honing in on two moped muggers.
There is so much private CCTV that we, minute by minute, we're able to track them. You're just willing for that next piece of information to piece it together.
And the high-tech system gathering evidence in super-fast time.
The amount of digital evidence that's available, video, audio, it's on demand. Data's now on demand.
Alcohol-fueled violence, public disorder, domestic abuse, drink driving. Drink is a factor in nearly 40% of all violent crime. Now the police and the justice system are fighting back, issuing offenders with drinking bans and fitting them with one of these. An electronic monitoring device known as a sobriety tag. If an offender with a drink ban consumes even a small amount of alcohol, the tag will detect it, and they could end up going to jail.
The tag itself is very, very sensitive. We're able to detect very small amounts of alcohol.
The aim of this device is simple: to cut the number of crimes where drink is a factor.
We are removing that trigger point, which is alcohol, for many crimes, including drink driving and public order offences.
Off we go. Do speech now in the kitchen, huh?
Okay.
That's it. Confident, nice steps.
Paul Pugh has severe brain damage following an unprovoked attack outside a pub in Ammanford, South Wales.
Well done. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
15 years on, Paul is still struggling to walk and talk.
Okay, we'll give it a go.
Deep breath, nice and calm.
He's had to come to terms with the fact that he will never fully recover.
We start with how now.
How now, brown cow.
Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Well done.
Before the attack, Paul was a keen footballer and captain of his local team.
I remember Paul used to be passionate about his football. He was team captain up in Cwmaman, which is not far up the road there. Yeah, he enjoyed it, loved it. Looked forward to it every weekend. Looked forward to training a couple of times a week.
Matthew is Paul's older brother.
Well, we used to play football over the field over there, on the grounds of the hotel up the road. Also on the drive and on the road by there. So, a few memories, yeah.
Saturday, January the 6th, 2007, just outside the old cross in Ammanford. Paul's life changed forever. He'd been playing football and had arranged to spend the evening enjoying a drink with teammates.
I was the one who took him out that night because he came home from football, which is his first game in months, because he'd had a niggling injury in his knee, I think it was. I'd been at work. He came home and he asked me if I could take him down Amford, so I took him down Amford.
They visited a couple of pubs, ending up in the Old Cross. At the end of the evening, as Paul left, he was set upon by 4 men. They attacked him from behind and punched and kicked him to the ground.
Arm square, please. Straight away.
Get the line.
Arm square, straight away, please. All the way. No, straight. Arm square, outside the cross.
The first Matthew knew of it was a phone call in the middle of the night.
I was in work early, so I was in bed. The phone rang. When it kept ringing, my eldest brother, my parents, they were in the hospital. They phoned me, you better come down. So that was that.
Matthew rushed to the nearby Morriston Hospital emergency department. Doctors were battling to save Paul's life. It would be another 24 hours before Matthew could see his younger brother.
I saw him Sunday night. He's black and blue, obviously in a coma, so he couldn't speak back. Like, I don't know if A, he'll survive, and B, if he'll recover, and if he recovers, how he'll recover. So, you know, basically it's life-changing, one way or the other. Not nice to see anyone like that, whether you're related or not. Just horrible.
Anne Beswick is a former Lancashire police detective. Anne now lectures in police and criminal investigation at the University of Central Lancashire.
That physical presence of police officers on the streets, outside pubs, in the town centres and city centres, when pubs are turning out, it does have an impact. But it is important that people feel safe enough to be able to go out for a drink with friends and be able to come home safely without having catastrophic injuries as a result of somebody who's been fueled by alcohol, who simply takes a random swing at them for no reason.
It was over a year before Paul was finally able to go home. And even then, he needed full-time care.
All right. Try and bring them out again for me now. The heels. The heels now out. Now you did that yourself, okay? Well done. Back in.
He's obviously come a long way. He's come a long way. But yeah, it's a life sentence. It has been for 14 years, and it will be till the day he dies.
Okay then. Yeah.
Later, how this electronic monitoring tag is helping to curb alcohol-fueled violence.
So the tag itself is very, very sensitive.
we're able to detect very small amounts of alcohol. So that's approximately half a pint of beer, half a glass of wine, or a small glass of wine.
Like towns and cities across the UK, Hull has a network of CCTV cameras monitoring streets and public spaces. Over the years, these cameras have helped solve thousands of crimes.
It's imperative to the work that we do on a day-to-day basis. It's one of the first things that we go out to look for. If anything's captured on CCTV or through any technology, it's gold dust to us.
But the council's network of cameras can't capture everything. And sometimes police have to look elsewhere. Thankfully, there's a hidden network of literally thousands of privately owned cameras. At 7:45 p.m. on November the 23rd, 2019. Police get a call about a red moped driving erratically with 2 people on board. It's picked up by CCTV cameras on the busy Cottingham Road.
The case came to us initially through a call from a member of the public just reporting a nuisance moped, what we call 2-up, so a pillion passenger and a driver, causing a nuisance on Cottingham Road in Hull. They'd been seen mounting the pavement, weaving inside of traffic.
Detective Constable Amy Gray is part of a specialist unit at Humberside Police, investigating break-ins and robberies.
The purpose of their journey that night was to look for people to rob. There was multiple occasions on the wider CCTV that showed them mounting pavements, particularly outside of Tesco store. They mount the pavement and they circle a guy who seemed to be on his mobile phone.
Minutes later, police get another call. The same moped has just done a U-turn in the street and has then driven straight towards an 85-year-old woman just out of view. She's been knocked to the ground and her handbag's been taken. The police response is immediate.
There's nothing that we're more passionate about than dealing with those types of incidents. We'll work over and above to get the results that we need. Officers were deployed to the scene and CCTV were asked to monitor for the bike. They managed to pick up live the bike coming away from the scene of the incident and driving down a street off of Newland Avenue.
The moped was tracked by CCTV operators as police closed in. It didn't take long to catch up with them.
Without having CCTV monitoring at the time, we're almost stabbing in the dark as to which route could have been taken.
The 2 robbers were desperate to get away and were driving recklessly.
We couldn't pursue it, it was too dangerous. It was very busy streets, it posed a risk not only to members of the public but also to the rider. We lost the bike after that, and so it became an ongoing investigation at that point.
There wasn't much in the way of evidence.
All we knew it was 2 what we believed to be males. We had clothing description, but it just was basically all dark clothing. We knew that the motorbike involved was red in colour, and that was how the investigation started. It was so minimal.
Amy and her colleagues were determined not to let them get away with it.
Crimes like this, I'm really, really passionate about. This is exactly the reason I do the job that I do. To harm somebody in that way, it genuinely makes me sick to my stomach to think that there are people willing to do that.
The elderly victim was a nun on her way home from church.
The lady in question she just thought she'd been knocked down. She wasn't aware of the fact that she'd been robbed. She refused, bless her, any medical attention initially. She was really dazed about what had happened. How she wasn't more injured is a surprise to me, and I'm sure, as she would say, is by the grace of God.
Her handbag was found dumped nearby.
Within her bag was a purse, but it didn't contain any cash. There was a copy of the Catholic Times, there was a newsletter from the church that she'd just been to visit, other personal effects, and a bottle of holy water. That's the saddest part, I suppose. When they realised there was nothing of value, they just disposed of it like it meant nothing to them. Whereas to our victim, that's her world in that bag.
The investigation had stalled, but Amy wasn't about to give up. The vast majority of all cameras are owned not by the police or the council, but by ordinary people. The chances were one of the thousands of privately owned cameras had captured some valuable evidence. All Amy had to do was find it. Tony Porter is a former senior police officer and for 7 years was Surveillance Camera Commissioner for England and Wales.
The volume of cameras, and I know this from my days as Commissioner, is significant. I think in the UK between 6 and 8 million before dash cams. There are certainly some great opportunities to law enforcement, to the police, to identify offenders, but there are counter issues. Some of the counter issues is the sheer volume of work that the police have, the resources stretched that the police are experiencing. So the police will have to prioritise what their detectives drill into because it takes time. Are they going to look for an assault on an old lady? Well, yes, I would imagine they certainly are.
Amy and her colleagues went door to door, gathering any footage that could be helpful.
It was time-consuming to pull all the CCTV together. It took us a couple of days to go through from the point where we knew the incident occurred. We backtracked prior to the incident and then went forward, going to businesses where we knew that they'd passed.
It was a huge job, but worth it. Amy and her team slowly uncovered a treasure trove of new evidence. One privately owned camera had caught the moped mounting the footpath. And this camera captured the moped driving along the pavement.
There is so much private CCTV that we, minute by minute, we're able to track them. It's a long process, but when it's involving something of this nature, it's not an arduous task. You're just willing for that next piece of information to piece it together, to pull the job together as a whole.
Cameras on this street are set well back from the road, but provide vital evidence. They capture the moped passing by. And then moments later, the elderly woman as she walks home from church. The moped riders do a sudden U-turn.
So on the night in question now, a victim was walking down this street here, in this direction, and the bike came out from the junction behind and up the street, and as it comes past here, it slows down as it spots her. Goes to the traffic lights at the end and turns round, and as it heads back towards this way, that's when it mounted the pavement and attacked her just where the short wall is here.
Amy was now piecing together the moped's movements, both before and after the crime.
To be able to plot the movements of a suspect is critical. What has to be done is to demonstrate unequivocally the individual's movements from A to the offence and back to B. And that is because the defendant is highly likely to present rationale or reasons to explain why that wasn't him, or he didn't do the offence, or he hadn't moved. And the prosecution will want to demonstrate the time, demonstrate the digital overlay, demonstrate the focus of the movement, use CCTV to counter any defence that the individual might offer.
The moped was traced to a youth hostel in nearby Terry Street. It was the breakthrough Amy had been looking for.
A member of staff from the hostel on Terry Street contacted the police to say they had noted down the registration of a bike that caused a nuisance outside their property for a number of days prior to this incident.
It was quickly identified as the moped they were looking for.
The hostel itself is covered by a lot of CCTV cameras. We were then able to check the cameras at the hostel, which showed the bike pull up outside prior to the incident.
One of the residents, Adam Fenton, is seen leaving the hostel and getting onto the back of a moped.
We therefore knew from that point that that was the starting point of the incident, the two people on the bike setting off to go and commit the offence.
Fenton was arrested and his room searched. Police found 36 bags of cannabis. Fenton admitted being the passenger on the moped and identified the driver as Matthew Goodwillie.
I've never dealt with a case previously where a suspect has come forward to provide a statement to name his counterpart in the offence. It's the first time I've experienced it. And without his evidence, we wouldn't have charged the driver of the bike.
Fenton was given a 1-year, 9-month suspended jail sentence for robbery and possession with intent to supply cannabis. Goodwillie was identified as the lead offender. He was jailed for 5 years, 11 months for robbery and, in an unrelated incident, possession of a bladed weapon.
Both suspects pleaded guilty, but the CCTV was still played as evidence of the case because it gave them no wriggle room in relation to their involvement in the incident. At the end of the case, I felt relieved for the victim. It had taken almost 2 years to get through the court process. Now 87 years old, it's protect other families, to know that they could feel safer, then there's no better feeling in the world than that.
Amy's sheer determination, going door to door, digging out a treasure trove of evidence from privately owned CCTV, was pivotal in this case.
There's no better evidence than the evidence that we get from technology when it comes to fighting crime. Because we wanted to prove who was responsible and we wanted to bring them to justice. We wanted to be able to say without any shadow of doubt that these people were responsible, and the CCTV allowed us to do that.
Later, the new high-tech system helping police upload footage from multiple sources in minutes.
Data can be requested from pretty much any source. Local councils with a public space system, private individuals with residential cameras, Ring doorbells, for example, and commercial premises who typically have an estate of video cameras.
Do speech now in the kitchen,
yes, okay.
That's it. Confident, nice steps.
We've seen how Paul Pugh suffered life-changing injuries after an unprovoked attack outside a pub in South Wales.
Well done.
Arm foot square, please. Straight away.
Get the line.
Arm foot square, straight away, please. All the way. No, straight. Arm foot square, outside the cross.
What now?
Now, There's a new crackdown on those who commit crimes under the influence of alcohol. In a world-first move, offenders are being banned from drinking and ordered to wear one of these. An electronic monitoring device known as a sobriety tag.
We call them alcohol abstinence monitoring tags. They're an ankle bracelet with a small disc inside it, and that disc takes a reading every so many hours of the alcohol level in your sweat.
If they do have a drink, their probation officer is alerted and they could end up in jail.
The tag is almost like, do you remember the old cartoons, the Mickey Mouse cartoons, the angel and the devil? It's almost like the angel in your ear, don't have a drink, don't have a drink. So it's almost like having a conscience attached to your leg.
Becky Tate is a probation officer working directly with offenders, helping to break the cycle of drinking and reoffending.
My aim is to help people make changes in their lives so that they don't keep coming back to the criminal justice system and have better lives, really. People have patterns of offending and keep on offending, and it's very difficult to help them to change because they're in a cycle of all sorts of things: substance misuse, violence, domestic abuse. I'd say in my caseload, at least a quarter were using alcohol at the time of their offence.
Nationally, the figures are even worse. Nearly 4 out of every 10 violent crimes are linked to alcohol. It's a major problem.
People just don't think about consequences when they're under the influence of alcohol. People can become more aggressive, people can just become more impulsive. So if we can help people make changes to their alcohol use and think more about the impact of their alcohol use on their behaviour, that in turn then allows them to be safer and to be less of a risk to the public.
The hope is this electronic monitoring device will help reduce alcohol-fuelled violence. Joe Weston works for Scram Systems, the company that manufactures and supplies the sobriety tag.
There's a huge link between alcohol and crime in the UK, and it costs the UK government billions of pounds to manage that. The tag that we produce allows the authorities to directly address a contributing factor to crime. So if we remove the alcohol from the equation, that will certainly assist in addressing crime and reoffending.
The sobriety tag is being fitted to thousands of offenders, including many who have served a prison sentence.
Currently, the tags are available throughout England and Wales for anyone that commits an offence where alcohol is a contributing factor. So the offences can range anything from drink driving to domestic violence to public order offences. There's a broad range of offences where this sanction can be applied.
The device works by checking the alcohol level in the offender's sweat, taking a reading every 30 minutes.
When somebody drinks and the body starts to process the alcohol, a very small amount of that alcohol is released through the skin in the sweat. So the tag is worn securely on the ankle. It takes a controlled sample of the person's perspiration every 30 minutes, and we are able to analyse that sample for the presence of alcohol. 1 to 2 units of alcohol we're able to detect and confirm as a consumption event. So that's approximately half a pint of beer, half a glass of wine, or a small glass of wine.
These high-tech devices are designed to be tamper-proof.
The tag itself is packed with anti-tamper technology. If the strap was to be cut, we would detect that and report that onto the authorities. There's also an infrared sensor in the back here which can detect any attempts to place items between the tag and the ankle to try and block the alcohol from being taken in.
If alcohol is detected, an enforcement process is triggered.
The order that they're subject to is abstinence. So if we report a confirmed drinking event, the probation officer will take action, whether that be a conversation, a warning letter, or they return to court. That is a decision that sits with probation.
Trying to deal with any sort of addiction, and alcohol is one of those addictions, is usually about a 5-year process. By using the sobriety tags, that helps the criminal justice system to help the person that has the problem. Very often people want to get out of that cycle of abusive behaviour. And it's those behaviours that have to be managed in order to stop people committing further offences.
It's a good starting point for people to have that break from alcohol and to have that clarity of thought and to engage with services.
Since its launch in October 2020, offenders wearing the sobriety tag have stayed sober 97% of the time.
For a lot of people, having that additional monitoring and enforcement allows them to make better choices, which allows them then not to drink, which allows them then to make better decisions and think more clearly through things.
Electronic monitoring is already making a difference, but there's more to be done in order to reduce reoffending rates. Rob Gomery is a former Frontline officer at Lancashire Police.
The tags are only one part of the puzzle for breaking that cycle of violent crime with an offender. Just wearing the tag on its own isn't going to be enough. What they also need is some wraparound services, so they'll need a good probation officer to monitor that individual and keep that individual motivated. They'll need alcohol services and other health services to assist them in medication that they may need to take. And if all of those come together and the individual has got a good home setting, they are more likely to succeed in breaking that chain of alcohol-related violent crime.
It's one tool in a massive toolkit of things that we use as probation to help people make changes. Technology is really, really useful, but I think also the human impact of interaction with people is very important as well.
Okay then. Good.
Paul Pugh has shown great strength and determination, slowly but surely rebuilding his life.
4, 5.
Didn't that hurt?
Yeah. 6. Towards my hand.
It's a world apart. He's obviously not how he was before. He can do some stuff for himself. He's more independent than he has been for the last so many years. Obviously not as he was before. It's the last game. Forest.
Paul is determined that what happened to him shouldn't happen to anyone else.
And nothing more than when in London when I spoke in the House of Lords. Yeah, Matthew came up with me to be my carer.
He set up a campaign called Paul's Pledge, raising awareness of the consequences of alcohol-related violence.
If this campaign was available to people when this happened to me, or before this happened to me, it would have definitely made those boys think twice about what they did.
We've been around schools promoting what the effects are, basically, so that's a positive, you know, passing on his experiences to others. He's trying to tell people it affects not just the person, it affects the family and friends.
It's a simple message, but it's one Paul and Matthew wants everyone to take to heart.
Just try and be aware, and hopefully we're good friends, and say, look, stop, just look after yourselves and try and be as responsible as you can. I know everyone makes mistakes, but assaulting someone isn't a mistake, so.
We saw earlier how police in Hull tracked down hours of privately owned footage to help catch 2 moped muggers.
We wanted to prove who was responsible, and we wanted to bring them to justice. We wanted to be able to say without any shadow of doubt that these people were responsible, and the CCTV allowed us to do that.
But the process of tracking down all the available footage was a massive task. Technology company Genetec has developed a new system for gathering digital evidence like CCTV quickly and securely. The aim is to help speed up police investigations.
Digital evidence is crucial in police investigations in the current age. The amount of digital evidence that's available, video, audio, it's just as important as fingerprints, other data, because ultimately it can identify the perpetrators and who's involved.
Nick Smith is Genetec's UK Business Development Manager.
Typically, before digital evidence, police would have to find out where that evidence exists, send somebody out to collect that evidence, and then take it back and review it.
New digital management systems enable police to quickly identify multiple cameras, to request footage from those cameras, and to get that footage uploaded in minutes, safely and securely.
Data can be requested from pretty much any source. So this could be local councils with a public space system where they have public space cameras. It can be private individuals with residential cameras, Ring doorbells, for example, and commercial premises who typically have an estate of video cameras. It allows agencies to access and request digital data, digital evidence quickly and efficiently. It's on demand. Data's now on demand.
Quick access to footage saves police not only time, but also money.
So the real benefits to a digital system like this is that ultimately it saves on resources. We don't have to send officers out to go and collect information anymore and collect that evidence. That information can be done by a single officer, a single investigating officer from their own station. So it really improves the response time when we've got an active incident, an active case where time is of the essence and we need to find somebody. It allows the police to respond a lot quicker and understand the situation within minutes.
Using volunteers, Genetec has reconstructed a typical car theft to show how quick access to footage can help an investigation. The car about to be stolen is a white BMW.
It is a very well protected car. It's very well lit, good camera coverage.
Viet Tang is a sales engineer.
We have 2 cameras which cover the house. We have got a camera which is overlooking a driveway, and there is a second camera which is just next to it, okay, pointing the other side of the driveway.
The 2 cameras catch a glimpse of the car thieves as they drive slowly past. And then, later that night, when they return to steal the BMW.
An actual car thief coming out. There you go, just lurking in the background. They're going to make a beeline for this vehicle here.
There's also a 3rd camera over the road. It's this camera that picks up crucial information about the car thieves, what they were wearing, and the type of vehicle they were driving.
This is the neighbour's camera. And they were able to catch the perpetrators from a different angle. Some cameras will have a good view, some won't, but it's the ability to collect them all together.
The car thief approaches the BMW. Then, for the demonstration, he uses a pre-cut key to gain entry. He's picked up by both the driveway cameras.
And then he's off. It's simple as that. It took 5, 10, 15 seconds.
But in that short time, vital evidence has been gathered by all 3 cameras. The car owner realises what's happened and calls the police.
This is important because the sooner you get any evidence to the police, the quicker they can deal with it.
Using a digital management system, the police can make it quick and easy for anyone to provide them with footage.
The resident who had his car stolen can upload this footage straight to this portal for the police to start reviewing.
The neighbour can do the same, giving police instant access to an image of the car thief.
The quicker you can get footage, the quicker you can get evidence, the quicker you can start acting on it.
Committing crimes in public places is becoming a lot more difficult. By having systems that allow the law enforcement agencies, the police, to get access to high-quality digital evidence on demand means that those perpetrators, those criminals, may get away with it for a small period of time, but eventually they are going to get caught.
As for Detective Constable Amy Gray, she's more determined than ever that robbers who target elderly victims are brought to justice.
There's nothing that we're more passionate about than dealing with those types of incidents. We'll work over and above to get the results that we need. It was time-consuming to pull all the CCTV together. It took us a couple of days to go through from the point where we knew the incident occurred, but well worth doing because ultimately it is the CCTV that led us to our suspect.
The police and the public are tapping into new technology, finding new ways of gathering evidence, using new high-tech devices, and working together in a frontline fightback.
People's homes are bristling with technology that can record the presence of offenders, even if they're passing by in the street. With the public's engagement and working with the police, we can catch more offenders committing crimes in our communities.
The 4 sows in the final is first for the Sewing Bee. Only one of them can be crowned the winner though, tonight at 9. Dreamcast, deadly arrows and gripping drama based on a true story. Watch now thriller Sherwood on BBC iPlayer.